Good evening. Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters, and conspiring and attempting to obstruct an official proceeding.
We now have two standards of justice. As far as the joke of an indictment, it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing for this country. I mean, the only good thing about it is it's driven my poll numbers way up. Can you believe this? Way up.
What's your name? Ted.
Be advised, Capitol Police one advised they're trying to breach and get into the Capitol.
The attack on our nation's capital on January 6, 2021, was an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy. As described in the indictment, it was fueled by lies. Lies by the defendant targeted at obstructing a bedrock function of the U.S. government, the nation's process of collecting, counting, and certifying the results of the presidential election.
U.S. Special Counsel Jack Smith has asked a federal appeals court to revive the criminal case accusing Donald Trump of retaining classified documents. That's after a Trump-appointed judge in a lower court dismissed the indictment in July, ruling that Smith was unlawfully appointed and did not have the legal authority to bring the case. Smith's Monday court filing argued that Eileen Cannon was wrong in ruling that U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland's decision to appoint Smith in 2022 violated the U.S. Constitution. Smith and his team urged the appellate court to reverse her order and to schedule oral arguments, writing that Cannon had, quote, deviated from binding Supreme Court precedent and also misconstrued the statutes that authorize the special counsel's appointment. In the case, Trump was indicted on charges that he willfully retained sensitive national security documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida after leaving office in 2021 and obstructed government efforts to retrieve the material. Trump's lawyers had previously challenged the legal authority for Smith's appointment, arguing that Smith's office was not created by Congress and the special counsel was not confirmed by the Senate. Cannon's decision to dismiss the case came not long after the Supreme Court ruled that Trump had broad criminal immunity from prosecution for official actions he took during his time in office. Her ruling marked a legal victory for Trump, but has also faced staunch criticism, with many attorneys saying it flies in the face of prior court decisions which all upheld the legality of rules the Justice Department has relied on for years to appoint special counsels. Trump's campaign said on Monday that the court should reject Smith's request, and that other cases the former president faces should be dismissed.
Hi, can you respond to the superseding indictments against former President Donald Trump?
Yeah, I haven't read the whole thing, but it looks like Jack Smith doing more of what he does, which is filing these absurd lawsuits in an effort to influence the election. I mean, the one thing that I did see, which I felt was just classic lipstick on a pig, is, of course, the reason the Supreme Court threw out his lawsuit is because they said it implicated the president's official acts, of course, which the president has immunity in conducting those official acts. And yet, Jack Smith tried to redefine Mike Pence as from the vice president to the running mate, as if somehow changing those words in an indictment undercuts the fact that Mike Pence is still the sitting vice president and it still directly implicates the president's official acts. So I don't think that it changes anything legally. I think it's clearly an effort to try to do more election interference from Jack Smith. He should be ashamed of himself, and it's one of the reasons why we have to win, because he should not be anywhere near power. Well, I think just my pushback on what they said is, look, if the president doesn't have some level of immunity in how he conducts his office, in the same way that judges have to have immunity, police officers have to have immunity, there has to be some recognition that people can't be sued for doing their job. And, the way that I think about it is try to make this nonpartisan. Barack Obama ordered drones to strike an American citizen in Yemen. That's like the definition of murder, unless you recognize the president has some immunity in conducting his official acts. So I just don't understand how you can even have a president of the United States if there's no immunity in how they do their job. Look, I think what they did was actually pretty sensible, right? They tried to sort of carve out, there has to be some range where the president can act within that range without having his livelihood destroyed. But of course, the president, there are some things that are clearly personal. The president doesn't have immunity there. So I thought the way they actually divided that conduct and tried to protect the president's official duties, that seems sensible to me. See you guys.
What are your plans? You have mentioned to other reporters that you plan to go back to South Florida. You plan to reorganize the Proud Boys organization down there. What are your plans, both personally and politically moving forward?
I think what ended up happening is since I was in the national spotlight, I wasn't at home dealing with things in my South Florida chapter. So I want to fix some of the things that are going on down.
You only do propaganda, and it's communist propaganda. USA! 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 USA!